Hey everyone, it's me, Adam P, and welcome back to another episode of Survivor Winners at War, episode 10. Wow, we're in the double digits. First of all, I still want to say, once again, I hope everyone is doing the best they can during this time. So we immediately went right to family, which I love seeing their reactions being like, wait, really, right now, already? Because it was only day 24, and there's still 10 people left in the game. And not only that, but they got the whole family there. Oh my goodness, the little goobers came out. Oh my gosh. They say Jeremy for last, and you could see him just waiting in agony to see his family. But when it came, it was super, super sweet. And you could tell Jeff, lives for these moments. He loves the family moments. And you could tell he was trying different ways of talking to them, because once he got to family number 10, he was like, imagine you're in a diary writing about this. What would you say? But what really surprised me was no comp. Y'all good, take them to your campsite. But then eventually it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense, because one, winners at war. You're all winners. We all really like you. We'll throw you a bone. And two, when he mentioned that this was Fuji Airways doing it, it was like, oh, it's a sponsorship. Okay. Also, that would be pretty cruel to do a competition and be like, okay, so who is not going to see their little toddler children right now? All these winners know it's not even really good to get the loved one challenge win, because you have the burden of deciding who gets to join you. It is not a lot of gameplay. However, you get more empathy towards these castaways. So it is a nice trade, and I think this one was especially nice. Okay, I'm just gonna say now, this episode was a perfect example of why these episodes need to be extended. It's too much bullet points rather than a nice flowed story. It's just a lot of spark notes. And I just felt like 90 minutes would be a perfect length for this kind of season. If The Bachelor does 2 hours for an episode, I think we could do 2 hours for Survivor, especially if it's Winners at War. So I don't really agree with it being just an hour. And there's a lot of shows that are 90 minutes, 2 hours, Also Project Runway, it goes 90 minutes a lot too. But I'm sure maybe it was a CBS scheduling conflict. They want to force their other mediocre new shows. Okay, so then I thought, oh man, if I was on the edge of extinction and I found out they got their loved ones, I would have been so heartbroken. However, the moment they showed the boat coming in, I was like, perfect. They get their loved ones too. Excellent. So we get a really nice emotional moment, and I feel like that was an even stronger moment because you're on the edge where you have very little hope, And I keep thinking too is well, it's not like you haven't seen them in months and years. But you gotta remember, this is very mental on these people, and they're going through a lot. So I think that's why they have such a huge reaction, even though it says day 24. So we get right into immunity challenges. And this is different because we didn't get a cute little update like we usually do. So we're going into it a little blind. I mean, we do know pretty much the standings at least. It is the classic, put the letters, immunity, stack them up. And this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite challenge, because it is first of all, there is no additional strategy really. It's just slow and steady. And anything could change at the drop of the dime. So that's why I really love this challenge. Is it's so unpredictable on who's winning it. And it turns out the Tonemeister wins his first immunity ever. Did I think Tony needed it? Not really, but once we got into the camp and we actually got more subtext on this state of the game, it was okay, no, this was the perfect immunity challenge to win. And honestly, I was like, okay, well, if Tony has immunity, I kind of wanted it to be extra messy and mouthy at Tribal. However, he was the exact opposite. He got to keep his mouth shut because there was a lot of other stuff going on. So it just went Sophie, Sarah, Jeremy. Those are our two main candidates. But I'm really thankful for the scene that they gave us with Kim talking to Jeremy and Tyson. And Kim broke it down for us. What's the state? Okay, very easy. 5 people. Kim kind of explain, we're kind of the outcasts. We've been the underdogs. So we have Tyson, Jeremy, Kim, Denise, Michelle. Yeah, those are pretty underdogs and people who have lost their allies. And then we have the people chilling, Sophie, Sarah, Tony, Ben, and Nick. But I'm kind of surprised Nick is in like the cool crowd now. Because he's been struggling. He has the Soleil curse on him, okay? So I'm glad they spelled it out for us. 5 and 5, this is how they're voting. Do I wish we had more explaining on why it's like this? Absolutely, though. Jeremy did remember thinking, okay, I have safety without power. However, they made a great point saying, if you leave, we need your number, boo. We need it. So I would only use it unless I for sure knew I was a goner. And I think Jeremy got the right hints. He definitely did. Because when they got to tribal, another whisper. Wait, see, another thing with tribal. Are these tribals councils amazing or lackluster? I can't tell. Because we don't get a lot of sit down and interview. You know, with Jeff, it was just more like things are still up in the air, so we have to talk. You know what I'm saying? I feel like production, they get to ease up on the whole character building because we know the characters already. So once they started, Jeremy can tell no one's talking to him. So that was a great sign to be like, okay, deuces. I think Jeremy did the absolute correct thing. And Jeff's like, okay, we're about to vote. So then Sarah and Jeremy, that was funny that they're off on a standstill being like, you'll go first with your thing. No, you go first with your thing. Jeremy ended up being like, okay, here's my advantage. Safety without power. I'm cute. Bye. Perfect. So then they get to talking again because he for sure was the one that was meant to go home. And then Sophie straight up kept it real. That's what I kind of like about her. She kept it real. Was like, okay, how about us 5? Let's just go in the back and we choose which chicken head is gonna get cut off today. How about that? That was very bold of Sophie, but like that must mean it's like very clear on who's on which side, you know? Which I wish we just got more explanation and more time about why they split and like how they split up like that. But then I forgot Kim has an idol. So that's why Kim was like, I wish I knew who their target is. So we sit down and this is the whole episode right here. This is when it got really exciting for me. They sit down. I don't think Sarah's going to use her steal a vote. Because I'm like, hey, 5-4. You know you got the votes, boo. But she still said, I have a steal a vote. And I'm stealing Denise's vote. And it was like, uh-oh. And I automatically was like, Denise is going home. God damn it. Crap. Because I think even Sarah did that before, where she stole Michaela's vote, I want to say. And then Michaela got the boot. Kim used her idol. And I thought, Kim, just use it on yourself. Use it on yourself, okay? You're good. But Kim ended up giving it to Denise, which is something I would have done at that moment too. However, that alliance pulled the switcheroo, honey. Turns out Tyson was the target. Got the axe. Goodbye, Tyson. Oh my gosh. And we had no idea that this would come. So they pulled a very smart move. I kind of hope they rolled the tapes, but I'm guessing they had a cute little meeting and Sarah said, look, booze, I got to steal a vote. Okay. That's what I was going to bring up. So they probably were like, okay, well, how about we do the steal a vote and we say it's Denise. And they're going to think that we're going to go after Denise. So if they have an idol, they're going to use it on the queen. But guess what? We're voting out Tyson. That's what I think that what happened. So whoever's idea, if that is true, if they really thought out that idol situation, and Sophie knew that Kim had the idol because Kim showed it to Sophie. Oh my gosh. So if Sophie is the one who like kind of orchestrated that and thought, okay, Kim's going to use her idol on the person we target with the steal a vote, then that means that we can bamboozle them and send Tyson out. If my theory is true, then Sophie for the $2 million. That's all I'm going to say. Or whoever thought of that plan, you have a great addition to your resume. Tyson gets the boo. I would be pretty mad at Jeremy. I would be. But I mean, what was Jeremy going to do? That tribal council, everything. That vote, I would say. amazing television. Well, thank you guys so much for checking out my review on Winners at War episode 10. What'd you guys think of this episode? I feel like there's a lot of different opinions and thoughts on how this season is going, but I'm still having fun. You know, my heart is still being healed by that Yule vote out. It's okay. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can always get pop culture tea from me, Adam P. Lastly, make sure you hit me up on my social media. And I will see you guys next time for more Winners at War. Peace, 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 love, peace, and chicken grease.